This segment of DelmarvaLife is sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration.
As Delmarva braces for potentially significant winter weather this weekend, we're talking several inches of snow and bitterly cold temperatures, the impacts won't stop when the flakes do.
No, prolonged freezes can quietly turn everyday plumbing into a serious problem, with frozen pipes leading to costly bursts and water damage inside homes and businesses. So, what can you do now to prevent these problems? Well, to answer that question and more, we have Kevin Lynham, Sales Director with Paul Davis Property Restoration Experts. Always good to see you, Kevin.
Good afternoon, Lisa.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Steve.
So the weekend storm expected to bring the extreme cold temperatures. So why are frozen pipes an issue during this kind of event?
Absolutely. So this time of year, when we have single digit with wind chill sustained temperatures, what you're going to see, everything in the house freezing up. Just like it becomes more difficult for us to move around in the cold, the water within the pipes of your home, when it's very, very cold, what you're going to see is standing water freezing. You can see uninsulated pipes freezing up. So what you can do is there's a few, preventative things you can do, like insulating pipes, buying things like heat tape, especially the homeowners that you see like in Bethany Beach and Fenwick Island that have some of these carports and some of these open air environments. A lot of times you want to just take the proper precautions to insulate those pipes and to ensure that you're going to be protected throughout the winter. Additionally, we also advise for people with seasonal properties, keeping that thermostat in the home, even though you're not there, 55 degrees or higher, ideally a couple degrees higher than 55 might even be advantageous in single digit temps. But essentially, because of the sustained cold, because of this big, winter storm we have coming our way, we always tend to see a large, influx of calls from ruptured pipes, sprinkler activations, and some of your multi-unit dwellings. But there can be a lot of challenges sometimes in the wintertime when it comes to dealing with water.
So we're a couple of days out, but the cold temperatures are going to be coming on Friday. What can homeowners do right now so that they're not up against it on the weekend?
Great question, Steve. So one of the preventative things you can do is sometimes in like a master bathroom or rooms where we have exposed exterior walls. Some of the modern PEX flex line systems, some of those lines may not be properly insulated, even with these newer homes, because as you can imagine, sometimes builders do move fast, sometimes walls don't get properly insulated. So one of the things you can do from a preventative perspective, believe it or not, letting water just run or slightly drip. One of the things we tell, especially with older homes and older piping, and with the newer, if you let that water drip at a very slow rate or pace, the water's moving. So when water moves, it can't freeze. Okay. So that can be one of the preventative things you can do right now without a lot of damage. I'm not telling everybody to go home and crack their faucets all the way open, but just a slight little drip can make all the world of difference between, exterior wall lines freezing and a line not freezing.
Okay. And of course, outdoor faucets, we have hoses outside and things like that.
So with exterior hoses, Lisa, a lot of times like those farmhouses and such, if you can't winterize the line, let it drip. Okay. Your hose bibs and things of that nature, believe it or not, you can winterize them. A lot of times what you want to do is just cut off the access to the water lines for your hose bibs. If you can evacuate it by running air through it, great. If not, you can crack that line and do that. And then they actually make some insulated covers that you can source at like a local box retailer. And these devices generally cost about 15 to 20 bucks each. But it's basically an insulated bib cover that, when we're talking single digits, we're just not used to seeing that on the Eastern Shore and the Delmarva Peninsula. So it's really important to be proactive.
Right.
Great point, Lisa.
Yeah.
So insulation makes sense. How does heat tape work? What is that?
So basically what you have, much like an insulated pipe, there are different tapes that have, some thermal properties to them where we can basically kind of wrap a pipe and it acts as an insulative protective sleeve.
Okay, Kevin, we're running out of time, but I wanted to ask you about what happens if you do wake up and, God forbid, your pipes burst. What's
Absolutely.
the first thing to do?
The good thing is you want to, first and foremost, get a good resource and a reliable partner for flooding. Paul Davis can help, okay? The first thing I recommend, though, always shut down the source if you can. So if you find an active leak in your home, the first thing you're going to want to do is find the water meter, go ahead and shut that off, and then call your reliable, trusted partner to kind of help you mitigate the damages.
Absolutely. All right, Kevin Lyman with Paul Davis Restoration. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Steve.